Hey, what's up? It's your boy BobbySapphire, and today I have four very special guests. I'm going to interview four of the top 8 from the Minnesota Regional Qualifier. I've got Chrono, Tatta, Alex, and Wooooo right now. Check it out. Whoa, we're gonna have company! Hey, what's up? It's your boy BobbySapphire, and today I have four very special guests. It's half of the top 8 of the Minnesota Regional Qualifier. I've got my teammate, Alexander the Greatest. What's up, Alex?
What's going on?
Jesus, okay, this is how it's going to be. Chrono, give me something more than that. How are you doing today, baby? You
I didn't know, were we supposed to say something?
Yeah, we literally went over all this in the pre-show notes, but that's cool, man. We're past you. Go ahead, Chrono. What's up?
We're doing great, Mike. And you can call me Christopher if we're going formal names. That's fine, Alexander, wow. Christopher. But
I don't think I've ever called you Christopher. It's Chrono or CJ and me.
All right, CJ's fine then.
All right, I'll go with CJ. Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt the brew session. What were we brewing? Which deck were we working on?
Oh boy, if I talk about it, it's just gonna be really.
Oh yeah, keep it secret. Yeah, go ahead.
Keep it secret for set 7 regionals.
Yeah, exactly. This will be a set 7 store showdown.
Nice. Yeah. And fresh off his top 4. It's John Tatta, younger than BobbySapphire. I had to say that every time you were on a match, so that started to hurt after you were on 3 straight games I streamed.
That was the goal, and mission accomplished.
Nice. And of course,
no, I'm doing great.
Yeah, great. I'm freaking hyped for you guys, and I'm especially hyped for this guy at the bottom. Wooooo, what's up, baby? Still basking in the glory. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good.
Have you stopped pacing?
No, I'm pacing right now. If you
now
can
look
see
at
me,
him, yeah.
I'm swiveling in my swivel chair. So my feet are tapping on the ground too. That's
it's great to see you smile though, Woo. I don't think you smiled once the whole weekend.
We got it. Look at all right. The first thing, so on the screen right now is half of the top 8 photo. Shout out to Ralph from the Blues 686 I think blog. Took this picture. How'd you end up on one? You're not even on one knee. You're like crouching weirdly, Woo. What's going on here?
Well, it's a good pose, I think.
No, I think you rocked it. It's just like usually that's Tata's move to kneel.
Well, so the problem is that I have retired the kneel pose.
Oh,
so
I see.
Someone else had to sub in, and Woo happened to be on the end, so he just kind of
just
slid right in there.
And then I never have to worry about Alex. He's obviously always going to point to the sponsor logo.
Yep.
So shout out to Alex for pointing to Metal Fab there.
Hey,
I love this. Every time I kick it to Alex for a reaction, he's just Are you gaming right now, Alex? I think he's brewing.
1 second, I'm fighting this boss. Give me 1 sec. Hold on.
He's in a raid. All right. Well, so
I'm only kidding.
We're back. Thank you guys for coming on with me on Tuesday. I know many of us just got back yesterday, but one thing that I feel like we haven't done a good job of is just kind of like shouting you guys out when you guys are doing great. Just like hard to fit it into a content schedule that like kind of is always moving. But nothing was more important to me this week than getting all 4 of you guys. All 4 of you made the top 8 in Minnesota, which is absolutely bonkers. And I just really appreciate you guys as friends and teammates today.
Yeah, I am personally so hyped for the team. CJ especially, he got his bye. So now we're up to 5 now. And just, we all killed it. Maddie was like 1 win away.
I know.
But it was a great weekend, and I'm just excited for everyone. Like all of my own success aside, like I'm just happy for Woo and Alex and CJ.
Yeah, CJ, did you pick out your bathing suit for Vegas for day 1 pool hangs? Cabana with McClunky?
Now that I'm a Cabana boy, I definitely am looking. I don't know if I can pull off a Speedo yet, though. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, just have Tim send you his diet.
Yeah, all right. I'll try. Sure.
Actually,
I'm sure that'll work out great.
Yeah. Well, you never know. You could be cut as hell by July 28th. I mean, just spend as much time in the gym as Alexander the Greatest, and get on that 0 fat, 0 sugar, all test and protein diet.
No ice cream though.
Yeah, that's the only thing holding Alex back is his inability to jump rope and his love of ice cream.
That's one thing that I wish we had on film.
Yeah,
Is
I
the
don't
jump
know what was
roping.
more ridiculous. Alex not being able to jump rope or Jason like literally rolling on the floor, like laugh
Yeah.
crying like a baby.
Or the
Uh,
push-ups that were not done.
That's right. I forgot about the morning push-ups. Anytime there's exercise in the KTOD Airbnb, I show my way out.
Same.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit about how you guys got on the decks that you got on, which is like kind of funny because three of you play the decks that you often play. But the first one I think I have queued up here. Oh, I have Woo queued up first. Wow, look at that, the champ. So Woo, when we went to Denver, you didn't play Kira, and I don't know. After that, you got right back on it. Obviously, you put out tons of Kira content, so we don't have to like litigate the list or anything. But can you just talk about where your head was at the week of, and in the weeks leading up to Minnesota here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like 2 weeks before that I took it to the PQ. Ever since the Django ban, I've thought that this is probably the most like well positioned into a wide field deck. I think probably the first time I've ever thought that, because like even when I was playing it in like set 3, I wasn't telling people that I thought it was like the best thing. And I don't necessarily think it's the best like powerful deck, but I just think I feel the safest right now into like a meta that is like infinite decks. Like you play, it's so wide open, and I just feel kind of secure. I have answers to like everything I need, and it's comfy. Like I've played it so much, I just know exactly what I'm gonna do in every matchup. Like exactly what cards I'm looking for, what I'm resourcing.
Yeah, and I just want to call out Woo. I mean, first of all, congrats, but I'm really glad that you used my deck from Richmond to win Minnesota. That's awesome.
Yeah, you did it first.
Yeah, shout out. Well, I will say one thing, John, is you didn't have 2 Agent Callus in your list. Now, that
That's
was the
true.
hotness all weekend, and it was something that, like, obviously a lot of people bat their eyes at. I'm sure you mentioned this in your video, but is there anything you want to shout out about Callus? I know you said he was, like, MVP all weekend.
He's insane. I played Agent Callus, so the Beatle tournament, the team tournament, and then there was the 6K. I played Kira 30 with Callus in my deck there, so it's not like he was a brand new thing for me. Like I really liked him then. He was very good into the mono yellow Han deck. But since then I was just on traders for a really long time because of all these like gotcha space stuff, especially like Chewbacca lines. I wanted an out to that kind of nonsense that was going to like come around, but with everyone kind of moving to confiscate or other upgrade hate, like people were main decking that for sure all over the place. Just didn't think it was a safe play, and I wanted something else proactive to do on the flip turn. And Callus fits the bill. I mean, yes, like 4/4 is kind of like the rate should be like 4 cost, not 5, but it doesn't matter that much in a ramp deck where you're kind of skipping that turn anyway. And that draw is incredibly, incredibly relevant. He almost always just 2-for-1s on that turn at the worst. And he did that all day. He was great
I'm
in the
sure
Kira.
the rise of like Ray decks really like ramp up the amount of like units he can just mow down and give you a card.
He's insane against Ray because they're playing like 1/4 unique units all over the place. But like he was, I played the mirror 3 times, and this guy was just awesome. Like I was killing Kira's with him and drawing cards, just like remove the leader. Right, there were plays where he was just like killing a Pike Sentinel, sticking around, barraging something, drawing a card. And that's a matchup where you wouldn't even think a card like this would be very good. But like Quinlan, they're all 3 power units, right? Like that's he just kills them and has to eat the Tarkin town, right? Like that's just what he ends up doing in all these matchups. He gets you that card against Quinlan too, which bam, insulation for all that discard.
Yeah, I'm like number 1 Callus hater, and like I think this card is awful. But I played against Rick, who was one of our subs, and he just played Woo's deck, and I played him round 3, and he played Callus on me on the 5 resource turn and drew like 7 cards with him. And I'm like, all right, maybe I'm wrong.
I think versus
because
Ray
it
is
made it so much
probably the
harder.
dirtiest. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So one thing that changed over, I guess, like over the course of the season is that you had a great weekend against Sabine, and I think Chrono, you guys played against each other in on day 2, right?
Yeah, that was
first
great.
match.
Yeah,
So-
wake up, get ready, go play Wooooo round 1, and day 2 that was great.
Yeah, and like so that was a matchup that you had struggled with. Not that it was like a 0% or anything, but you certainly gotten beat by Sabines over the course of the last couple seasons. So what do you think changed recently, especially with you having like restock and like Relentless in your deck?
Yeah, I mean, I've always felt it's just like kind of a close matchup. That's always been like my stance on this matchup. Data Vault, I think, changes things a little bit. It's just, I find that I feel okay in the games where I don't ramp now, whereas something I didn't feel before, because I'm okay taking like those extra chunks in that early game. I've played games where I've taken like A-Wing Chewie hits me 3 times, I take 18, and I'm like, that's okay because the ground is now completely locked. I will stabilize, and then like I still have 15 life, right? It's not, I don't, if that extra life, it's like a weird, it doesn't look like a lot, but I think it is probably the matchup where it matters the most. And yeah, like I've had to cheat a little bit for like mirrors with like some cards that obviously I wouldn't want in that matchup, but I also have like 2 walkers and a Snoke, and it was 3 walkers for a very long time. The 3rd is in the sideboard,
Yeah.
and like,
and by cheat you mean like
walker.
cheat, like angle your list towards
like
matchup.
Yeah, like
Ooh.
yes, not literally cheat, like cheat in the deck list, right? Like you get that restock into the main deck, right? Like
yeah, lean that way,
deck.
skew that way.
Yeah, skew. And yeah, it's not like, but like, yeah, even Callus was good in this matchup, and like probably better than Traitorous, because you don't ever want to get poed when you play a Traitorous against Sabine.
Nice. Well,
Yeah, and I can add playing Woo. I think the big thing when you play Kira versus Sabine, a lot of it is how the threats match up, right? So Sabine's always trying to keep the matchup in its favor with how the threats line up. Like, you have to make Kira trade as lopsided as you possibly can, right? You don't really want to just get the exact 1-for-1 each and every turn. And I know you mentioned in your video, Woo, but you leading space every game that I was on the play was massive. Although I lane dodged, I was really trying to set up Wing Leader, right? And Wing Leader needs me to have an empty space, right? Because I need to be able to play Wing Leader, buff my ground unit or my other space unit, and come away with 2 units, so I don't get Power of the Dark Side, which is massive. So
yeah, I can't believe how much work Inferno 4 has been doing in this meta lately. It's just like really throws a wrench into a lot of decks' early game plans.
Yeah, in the finals, it fixed I was able to get through 2 Lurking TIE Phantoms because of this little guy, and only ever take 4 damage between the 2 of them.
Yeah, that's
which is like which is kind of like the scariest opener, like a villain yellow can kind of present against you. But
all right. Well, we'll move on before Alex yawns for like a 19th time. I know we're putting him to bed.
I don't know why I can't stop. Like
That's all right. We're gonna talk about your
just
deck
don't know
now.
what's happening.
The deck that it's okay.
Go right on cue.
We got you. You're here. Your deck's here. This is a deck that everyone loves. Everyone thinks is perfect. So obviously you've been running this deck for a while. You've been running Han for a while. I know. I mean, you wavered, right? At some point, you were thinking like I should try and find something that isn't Han. At some point in the 2 weeks leading up to Minnesota.
Yeah, and then I got busy, and like I think 2 weeks before, I had sent Sunny D a message and said, I don't think Han's it anymore, man. I'm going to switch off. And then I spent no time doing any work on any other deck and just said, all right, here we are again. Changed like 3 cards or 4 cards the night before, and yep, called it a day. So I do think the last minute changes were really good. So a couple things I ended up changing was number 1, I changed the sideboard. Can you guys hear my dogs yelling at each other? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
They're going absolutely ballistic right now, so I apologize. But so one of the things I had talked about with Sunny was shoring up a little bit against the Ray matchup. So one of the changes I made main board was I cut the Get Out and Push Falcon for the 3rd blue leader. I did this because, one, I found it was huge when it got to be a 5/5 and ambush against Ray. It was really good against Kira too. When Kira flips, you get to trap her and just kind of run her over. And then it was also good versus Vader Yellow, which I was expecting an uptick in because you get to put one down and ambush the turn one play. And if you go first, you can actually even beat the double 1-drop start because you go put one down, they play a guy, you go blue leader, kill their guy, they play another guy, you claim, and just kill that guy too. So I was happy with the third blue leader decision. I think that was a great choice. What I was really most impressed with, though, was I switched the Tantive back to Enfys like I played for Richmond, but I also sided an extra Han and an extra Enfys in the side. And this was actually mostly for Rey. The Enfys was mainly for Rey. The big Han was for Rey. The Mirror, some of these more decks that I need to play ground against, like Han 2, Blue, or Data Vault. And I was incredibly impressed with that. I played a lot of those matches too. I played a Han Blue. I played a Han Data Vault. I played 2 Rays. So like the extra Han and Enfys just did so much work. That was the one change I loved the most. And then I went down on the Confiscate. The only thing I was ever putting both Confiscates in against, especially since I already have one main, was Sabine. And I just said, you know what, I'm already so favored in Sabine. I'll just take the little percentage loss there. The one thing I will say was terrible was Change of Heart. I'd literally rather play bounty posting. It probably would have been better. I don't even play bounties, and I probably could have found a better application for it. I could have used it to pass an action at least. This Change of Heart did nothing. I don't believe I've cast it a single time. I cited it in numerous times. It was just always terrible. I've cited this card maybe 4 or 5 times in my SWU career now. Every single time it's been terrible. I can't think of more than 5 times in tournament I've cast this card. It's awful. I hate it.
I'm actually surprised that you ran it. I also think that it's pretty bad. The only time I ever liked it was like in the set 1 fire spray meta was the only time I thought it was like really even playable. But unless things are coming in ready, it's just not really that good.
Yeah,
That could have been a third. That could have been a third waylay. That could have been the third conference. I mean, it could have been any. Like I said, it could have been bounty posting. Like it just. I hated that card. Do not play that card.
Yeah, well, I love that you went back to Enfys, and I love the extra Han and the extra Enfys in the board. I'm a huge Enfys fan in this deck, and it's just a great deck. And I like really enjoyed watching your quarter-final match on the stream.
Yeah.
Like sat with Claire, and we were just chatting about how many times we've watched you like against blue decks sort of like navigate these like crazy what seem like unwinnable board states and just get there with like your 16 resources.
And one thing I do want to emphasize before we move on to the next one is that this is not really a pilot deck anymore. It was a little bit more in Richmond when people were playing things like Cad, Quinlan, and Sabine. Like those were the 3 of the biggest decks. But you don't really pilot much with this deck anymore. And I've seen this kind of like, this kind of, not myth, but like misinformation going around that Han Green is this high roll pilot deck. I've seen a couple of the bigger casual YouTubers talking about how, oh, this is just a pilot high roll deck and it's not really like, it's just play the pilot and get lucky. But I can tell you, I counted every single time that I piloted in the early game, and it was a total of 6 times that I ever did turn 2 pilot in 13 rounds plus the top 8 match. I very rarely did this, and most of the time it was not good. Like I was counting to myself, like how many times am I actually piloting? And 4 of those times were against Sabine, where I'm actually supposed to pilot.
Right.
So it does not happen. Like you're not really piloting anymore this deck because everybody's got Confiscate. The Kira decks all have Traitorous or No Glory or Barrage, so you're not really trying to stick Chewie anymore. He's better on the ground. It just I want to get that out there that this is not a pilot deck. The pilots are just like extra upside. They're like modal spells now. Where like Han ambushed more than he ever was a pilot. I can tell you that for a fact.
Yeah, nice. I like that comparison. Like thinking of it as a modal card. It's just like one way you can slice the apple. So cool. All right, let's talk about this list, Tatta. So Tatta, you are the one person here who kind of like deviated off of a normal list, but that's because you don't really have a normal list. In fact, like over the course of the last year, I feel like the only list you played for an extended period of time, I think, was Django.
Django, yeah. So
And you played Sabine a lot at the beginning, but
yeah, I played Speed a lot in the beginning, and then Django a lot, and then since then, so I have made this very public, is that I hate playing mirror matches. It's like my least favorite thing about card games. It always has been, and I do everything in my power to avoid playing mirror matches. So after Richmond, uh, we did the masterclass video with Loopy, and we and I were talking, and I'm like, you know what, I'll just play Kira. So the week after that, I played a lot of games, and I lost like, I don't know, 9 out of 10 games one night. And then I switched to something else, and I lost like 9 out of 10 games. I won literally like 4 games the entire week prior to Minnesota. So like, I don't know, 3 days before the event, I was like, let's just play Ray. So I talked to Saucy from our Discord, because he had just won a PQ in Virginia or something with it. And I was like, hey, what do you think about Ray? And he's like, hey, I think it's really good. I think it's the best deck. I would make these changes and play it. So I did some more changes and played some games, started winning some. And then Woo had mentioned, like, hey, if you're going to make these changes, why don't you just play, like, freaking the pump spell, Unity of Purpose. Yeah. And I was like, wait. I was like, wait. That's actually kind of crazy. So, because all these games go to like 10 resources. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll just do that. I tested maybe 5 games with it in the deck. I played it like one time, blew someone out with it, and I'm like, okay, this is perfect.
yeah, I'm sure you've had this experience. We probably all have at some point, but when someone makes a suggestion and you just think about it and you just know right off the bat that
Right,
it's going to
yeah.
be good, and you're just like, you don't even need to think about it. You're just like, yeah, that's it. Well, where'd you pull the Unity of Purpose in Ray?
I don't know. I never played with it, but he kept talking about how like these mirrors are just slogfest, and I just was like, oh well, that's probably because nothing can ever kill anything because everything's a 1/4, so there's just going to be like 5 units in play every turn. I was like, oh, no one's killing anyone. Just like play this. There's no mass removal in this deck. There's
Right.
no like way to mass tap everything down. It's just everyone's going to be at like 25 life on turn 14, and you're going to have 7 units in play. You just play this, and you instantly win the game. It was just for the mirror. It was just for the mirror.
right.
It was
That's what it started as, was just for the mirror. And
I guess it was better than that.
it just lines up really well with U-Wing, because like U-Wing on 7, and then you could play Unity on 8 and just end the game. And in fact, I played Ray in Swiss as well, round 10, and I won game 1 by U-Winging and then playing Unity and attacking them for 20 damage when he pretty much had the game wrapped up.
Yeah.
It's just so...
I
think
love
5
that.
or 6 games. Yeah, like it was just crazy.
I love that angle because with Ray, you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, right? Like, you can either trade into all these little shitters and then, like, they might come back because you've taken so much of your potential damage to kill these, like, 1/4 and 2/5s. But then if you ignore them and try and go face and leave them on the board, and, like, Ray can drag out actions and just drop Unity of Purpose, there's nothing you can do. Like, we've all, like, lost that random game to Rex where they just, like, have it on... like 5 or whatever, and like you just can't stop 25 damage on that turn. So
yeah, and there were like 2 or 3 games I won with it by just playing like timely reinforcements on 8 or 9 resources, and then playing the Unity to win. Because while all the X-wing tokens don't count like individually, if you have 2 or 3 guys on the ground and then 4 X-wings, like all of your guys are getting +3/+3/+4/+4, and you attack for like 16 damage in the air.
yeah, I think those 2 cards together like really changed the dynamics of the deck for me.
Yeah, so I didn't lose to any Kiras or any Rays just because of that card. I think I played 2 Kiras and 1 or 2 Rays, but it was just it was just really good all weekend, and I was really impressed with it.
Nice. And then you're going to be doing like your 19th masterclass with Loopy when you do this Ray video with you and Yehosera.
Yeah, it's me and Yehosera. We're doing it. We're recording tomorrow, so I guess Loopy will put it up here in the next 2, 3, 4 days.
Are you going to go point counterpoint for 60 versus 60 plus?
Absolutely.
Nice.
I've already told him that I am going to just give him the business when it comes to playing 62 cards.
Awesome.
And see what he says.
Can't wait.
It'll be fun.
All right, let's check out before we talk about the rest of like hanging out at the event and what we liked and disliked about it. Let's talk about Chrono's list though. Chrono, I'm not sure this is the right list though because there's like 3 wing leader in here. I thought all the Sabines cut wing leader. What's up with that?
Yeah, this is a pretty stock. Oh no, go ahead, Alex. Sorry. Now you have
damn
to
it,
interject.
No,
Go ahead.
you
No,
you
go ahead.
you literally said the same thing I was about to say. So go ahead. I was going to make the joke. I didn't think anybody else would, but go ahead.
Oh, I don't know what joke you're talking about. It's pretty standard stock Sabine list. Definitely net decked it, I think, from the Wooooo DB. No way been playing this deck since Cent 1.
Well, you net decked
Probably
it
from that Chrono guy, right?
from BobbySapphire originally posted.
Yeah.
it.
Well, yeah. BobbySapphire, I think, was the first one I saw play it. I stole it from him. Right when Rebel Assault was leaked, I think, was when we did that. I just stole it right from him, and I've been running that ever since. Never innovate, just stocks.
No,
I just want to say that I'm thrilled that you played this deck. Like I think, are one of the best players on the entire team. And for all these events, you like to mess around with these weird ass rogue decks. And while I respect it, I'm glad you played a real deck and actually did what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and I love this list, and I love the one of Rebel Pathfinder. Multiple people came up to me over the course of the week, or dropped comments in the chat while I was commentating about that Rebel Pathfinder, and I think it's just like an incredible call into a Ray meta and a Blue Hero meta that you're seeing a lot of village protectors and stuff. I just think it's like great that you brought that back.
Yeah, and I think back on your point on the wing leader piece, that was the MVP every game. I will tell you, every time I cast that, I won the game. Even games, right? If you look on stream where everyone's like, hey, if you cast that and then so-and-so answers there, he loses, right? Like 100% that is true, but I just made him have it, right? It's like, you can't have everything.
Yeah. When you did it against Vader in, I think like round 12, I was just like, oh my God, just like right into Sanctioner Shuttle, putting it on the table. Just like, do you have it? Yeah. I mean,
my only line, it's all I had. I was in that. I just scooped my cards up. It was like, because if you remember that game, I only beat him by like 2 extra damage, like Xaxes on a 14-point swing in 1 action.
Yeah.
So it's like, I needed every point of that damage, or
I think you had 1 to give. I think you only need to do 13, but that's just my photographic memory there.
Well, 1 to give.
It was still an amazing Rebel Assault to win, and if I had made that play against a Vader opponent, they would have been in the tank for like 5 minutes deciding whether or not they should sanction or shuttle me or waylay me.
or waylay, or no good to be dead.
Yeah, or just like the Geonosis patrol fighter. They would have had all 4 and like really struggled with figuring out what the best one to play is.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, but one of the things that I also love about like this list, and something that that has come in and out, but I've always loved the timely interventions in this list. Just turning back on multiple multiple wreck or ambush attacks, or letting you sort of like blow one early. And either like save your ECL to keep them in fear, or use your ECL and hold up the timelies to make them think that they're safe.
Yeah. I mean, it ended up playing out really well over the weekend. I think ultimately, the deck itself, I liked having the 1 Rebel Pathfinder, and I think timely intervention actually goes with that card very well, right? Because like most of the time you use timely, in my experience anyway, is using it on a lot of your Saboteur guys early in the matches where you have to push damage. Like into the Rays, into the Kira, into things that you need to use your ECL early, but you also want it late. So, the most resource efficient way is to do that early on. And yeah, it makes your flip turn a little bit less impactful. But if you do, 4 resource from the road to hit a Rebel Pathfinder killing a village person, and then you're coming in with your leader, you're up on units, you're up on damage, your ECL's still there, you're feeling really good.
Yeah. And then, of course, for a while, most people were running Sundari Peacekeeper main. This was, to sort of counteract the Ping Tarkentown meta, which has largely gone away. How were Fighters for Freedom for you all weekend?
I mean, they were great all weekend. I played Kira 3 times, so they were excellent in everyone except for Mr. Ophir here. Everywhere else, they just were excellent. Great closers to the game. Really good into Ray. I played a Yoda, like a Yoda Data Vault deck, which... I sat down. I was like, man, I don't know how I lose this. But then he told me that he had like won 3 in a row against Beans, and I was in the tank for 10 minutes trying to figure that out. But then I was like, well, thank God I have these Fighters for Freedom.
Yeah.
And so I was able to just curve into them every time. excellent card for the weekend. Sundari was still great from the board, though. I played two CAD.
Sure.
I played 2 Quinlans. Like, excellent in those spots and necessary.
Nice. Yeah. And
Sundari was great for me all weekend too. It's great.
Well, Innovator 4 too.
MVP,
Sundari
right,
closes the door.
He cut the Chewbacca's. I don't know if you noticed that, but I know we talked about that on stream when you came on with me a little bit ago. You were basically sideboarding them out in almost every matchup, and then it looks like you just decided to keep them there.
It's so funny. That exercise, I think, is why I moved to the board. If it was talking to all your Patreons and being like, yeah, and then in this matchup, I side out Darksabers and Chewbacca. Oh, in this matchup, I also side out Chewbacca. And like it was just like every deck except for Kira and Bosk Blue. So it's like, you know what? I think this is a sideboard.
Well, I've always
just too risky.
said, like, when you make content and you're talking thoughtfully about the game, and it really helps you get better because you do get to externalize things that sometimes get glossed over when you're internally sideboarding them. You don't like have that moment of recognition. So it's cool that that's how that came to fruition. You, doing I don't know what do you call that? What do you call that series?
Oh, that's the Stream Plus.
Plus.
Where I have like 3 monthly like coaching style streams for Patreons.
Nice.
And they're really good streams. I've been on there, I think just once, but it's really well run, and I think it's a great tool for people who want to, like a more of like a group coaching thing.
Yeah, and then the subs get a lot out of it too. I remember when I did the Django one, I think Woo, you'd message me and said like someone like either did really well or top 8'd or something, and they found it really valuable. And I'm sure that's the case for when all of us came on.
Yeah, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback with them. And some people just listen to the recordings, right? Like, and anyone that comes in can get all the old ones, right? Like, they never go away. So
cool.
There's like it's like a big catalog.
Nice.
Did CJ and Alex switch places on the camera? Because now Alex is next to me, and it's really annoying.
I don't know if we switched.
It all looks normal for me and everyone watching this.
Fair enough.
One more thing I wanted to say about the deck that's different from a lot of what people are doing is I have 3 Darksabers. A lot of people were kind of going to the 2 Darksaber path right now for deck building. And I'll tell you, the reason to run 3 is because those games, like I had on stream, I think 2 of the different games, if I have Darksaber, it's the only way I can. Right? Like there are games where that is your own, like you need that card in that line you were taking, and you're locked into that line like 2 turns before. Like in that Vader matchup, I did not draw any ships game 1. So I knew I was in the race. And that happens against Green Han. That can happen even into like the control decks if they give you the window to do it to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you only play 2, you won't ever draw 2. Most of the time you'll draw 1. But it's way less chance you're going to get it when you need.
Yeah, and those are also matchups where like your ECL ambush overwhelm stuff is like just completely turned off. So you really need to rely on damage out of hand from things like the Darksaber.
Yep.
All right, cool. I got some cool pictures. I don't know if you guys just wanted to like spend a few minutes kind of just chatting about what you like, what went well, what you liked. I don't know, just anything that I didn't want the whole thing to just be like deck text, but just kind of wanted to leave some free form to like kind of chat about Star Wars and Star Wars Unlimited.
Yeah.
Well, that photo's for me playing Cole, and he's an awesome guy. That was a very fun. Like there were like 12 people surrounding that table, and we were just.
I remember from taking the picture, I was like, "Wow, damn! These guys have a crowd around here." And of course, I know
this was the last match of
day one.
Yeah,
and I know Cole from Star Wars CCG way back in the day. He's like, "Hey, Mike Jam, it's been about 20 years." So that's how far back we go.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like just to comment on like people watching and like every single round, like because there were so many people at the event. Once you got into day 2 and the end of day 1, like there'd be so many people just watching all the matches, and it was actually kind of cool to see.
Yeah, and you can see here, this is a great shot I got with all 3 of you, and I got a couple with like 2 of you and like my brother in the background, but there was always a crowd around those tables. And I think that crowd really benefited from not like some of these rounds not always being on the stream tables. Because sometimes there were 3 stream tables. Because there were 3 stream tables, a lot of that top table kind of, emptied out. But I love that Alex has this beautiful Hyper U-Wing in his hand. That's great. And that
Don't
KTOD.
love that you used the one with the I don't like that you used the one with the double chin, but that's we'll talk about that after.
Everyone was
Just
looking
grow-
at
grow a
how
beard.
great your fade looks. No one was looking at that until you said that. You obviously get a haircut right
Yeah, that's
before
fine.
the event.
Yep.
I will
Yep,
say,
yep.
like day one, it was awesome because we were always on the same table. Like we crushed day one,
Yeah.
right? Like we just played all 9 rounds, went right through it. I think we ended the day we were like 1 through this out of the top 8 seeds. I think we had like 3 or 4 of them.
We were
There's some-
4 of the top 8. Yeah.
Yeah, like going into day 2 felt very positive. It even got to the point where on day 2 it was a 50% chance either me or Tatta was playing Woo. Like that's just how it worked out.
Right.
Like
Yep.
that's how good we were running and how hot, and it felt great all weekend. It made in day 2 was a little bit stressful up to the last round, but it was excellent that we put ourselves in that position. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how relieved I was when I got to the last round and I was like, wait, I can draw? Because I was like I was X2 and I saw I was like third. Wait, I was like, wait, I'm in
Yeah.
third right
There were
now?
no X1s.
I can just draw?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
I
have
was
Woo
like
to thank
shocked.
for that. Yeah, because he beat all of the X1s. So like, by the time we got to the last round, there were no X1s left for Woo to beat. So like, he had to get pared down into an X2, and it just like it was crazy. But like, I really wanted to win with Ray because I told Alex like the night before, I was like, hey, if I win with Ray, will you finally call it a good deck? Because he was like dogging on me the whole weekend about how my deck was trash. I just wanted to win so badly just to like
I
throw it
stand
at
by
him.
that, by the way.
I know you
I
did.
do not like
Stands
this
by
raid
it.
deck.
Well,
I do not like this raid deck. I don't.
That's
like
'cause you didn't
against
play
it.
Unity
I don't
of
playing
Purpose.
with it.
right. I was just going to say, I think
Okay,
Unity
so-
of Purpose really changes it, and Timely.
That is one change I was like, whoa, how did nobody think of this before? Like, yeah, that kind of makes the deck like, that's kind of fire. Like, you're just playing a bunch of floaters and now they're all like real units. Like, that I do kind of, that I am like kind of a big fan of.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that
and
was
of course, the white jacket's always looking fresh, and the metal
Those
fab dice
jackets are
also
great.
looking fire.
Ton of
I had
compliments
so
this
many
weekend.
comments about those dice. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
everyone who like picked them up to roll or just wanted to pick them up, they're like, man, these dice are crazy. It's like, yep.
Yeah,
Fab.
Metal Fab does the absolute best stuff. I gotta text Beeflo about some force tokens, because I want some KTOD force tokens.
Yep.
Oh, and I want to shout out every single person I play. I'm not going to remember all your names. I'm sorry. And I know we met, but I will tell you, every single person I played through the entire event was so friendly and nice. Like, sometimes you play against that one person who's just kind of got that gamer awkwardness about them, right? Which is fine. Like, maybe they're a little antisocial or really not. Every single person I played with wanted to talk, was very friendly, very fair games, great sportsmanship. It was an excellent experience.
Well, I got you
And I
right
feel
here
like we
because
all had that
I
too.
have Melee up. So here's everyone you played.
All right,
Shout
good,
them out.
good.
Ben
I want it.
C16, Hermit Sinister, Max the Burger 23, Ant K10, Rosato RJ, Chris Schutz, Tony Ronaldo, Tetra Rain, Flashern, Ophir Marome, Hearthstone, Reflex, John Tatta, and Ray Tan. Shoutouts from Chrono.
Yes, thank you. Maybe not Ophir. He beat me pretty badly, but everyone else, just kidding. It was good. Excellent a time of the tournament. I had a ton of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then there's the full top 8 photo. I love that you guys all stood on one side. That made making the thumbnail for this thing really great.
Yeah, I mean, we had to, and I love seeing this picture because I love seeing Ray's hair there. It makes me think about the meme that someone made from the
Oh
stream.
my god, symbiote. So this is how it happened. Someone was like, this is the most lopsided hair match in SWU history. And I said, I guess it was me. I didn't think it was me, but I guess I said, we need someone to Photoshop Ray's hair onto John's head. And of course, like 3 minutes later, my watch was blowing up in like DMs from Symbiote. And I was like, oh, I know what this is.
Yeah, and Sam has already put my face on Balin's skull. He's already like done so many things, and he's just like a meme machine.
Yeah, meme lord.
Love it.
Like truly
yeah,
a meme lord.
he is the meme lord.
I think my favorite stream comment of the weekend was, I have a vanilla WoW character that
Yes,
looks
yes.
exactly like John.
Yes, that's so
Yeah.
good.
Who said that?
No, he said a vanilla WoW
I have
human
no
character. And I was
idea.
like, Human specifically.
That was
human
from the stream?
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
my god. I have to go back and watch this.
That was
and,
so good.
And also shout out Carlos there on the bottom right. Just he looks thrilled to be there.
He's also
did,
wearing a
yeah.
Rebel Resource sweatshirt, which
Yep.
shout out to the store.
I can't believe my eyes are open in this picture though. Like, what's up
Yeah,
with
you
that?
really messed up, but you're looking good in the melon hat. What do you think? I see you have it on now.
Oh man, love it. Love
Yeah,
it.
this hat's absolutely fire. We got to get you
It's a
guys
bet.
some.
That's
Yeah,
the
this
best
is where
part. About,
I would put it if I had one.
well, hey, that's
I
the only
don't
reason
have
I
one.
day two'd, right? The only reason I hit day two is because I was promised extra swag if I hit day two.
Yeah,
Maddie
well-
gave me this hat off his head. This is his hat that he was wearing.
Yeah,
I wish I had
that's
friends like that.
why I'll say this. Steve said he'd order you whatever you want, so take advantage of his kindness
that's
this
right.
week
I
with
gotta
you guys
send
all
him a
crusher. Make
message.
sure you DM him for
Yeah.
some sweet swag.
Then also shout out to our boy Chris Lewis there on the right from the Botha Network. He's a perennial top 8 in PQ, so it's nice to see him finally get his buy as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great friend of the team. We see him at all the
Yeah,
locals.
yeah.
Excellent competitor. We played too.
Yeah,
He beat me
he did,
Yep.
and I
in round 13.
I love all like the like I don't know, you could have drawn in, you were undefeated, but you went for the win, and we were still all really happy for Chris for getting in. Like, he's a guy we like to talk to
Absolutely,
every
yeah.
single event. But it's just it's not always about that, and sometimes it's about getting that win. So yeah, shout out to him. And then I know Chrono and Tatta, you guys were gone on Sunday night, but we had an awesome celebration back at the hotel. We were hanging out with
I heard
the
about that.
Unplayable guys. We were hanging out with Golden
Yeah.
Dice. We were hanging out with the Bothan guys, and we had an amazing toast. Maddie bought a bottle of champagne. We poured about 20 glasses, I think. I poured like a little
Love
bit
it.
into I made it really stretch, and we had an awesome toast for Woo. Congratulations, buddy. Really happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Looks like an
look at
awful time.
That was the best part about the whole weekend, and especially you can see it here. Like, everyone was so happy. The vibes were so good. Everyone was just congratulating everyone else. So happy for people's success.
That's always the case, man. Like every
Yeah.
event, like the best part is just the hangs.
Yeah, this
Yeah, no
Sunday
one-
night
Awesome.
event, like we ordered dinner, and all the Bothan guys, they actually ordered ice cream at the bar and then walked over and just ate their ice cream while we had like our steaks and our salmon and stuff. And
Nice.
yeah, it was kind of hilarious.
Yeah. For Vegas, I booked the flight out Monday just because I don't want to miss the Sunday
Yep.
after the event hang. 'Cause
Yeah,
that'll be
I'm definitely
legendary.
flying back Monday, if not Monday night, if not Tuesday.
Yeah.
because I might need a day to play blackjack or craps or something.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, I promised about 45 minutes, and look at us at 42. It'll be less when I edit out some things that John said that I can't have in the video. But it's all good. I appreciate you guys coming on and shooting the shit about your amazing weekend. I'm really proud of you guys, and I'm really happy for you. You all just like putting up for the team and putting on for the KTOD.
Yeah, and
man.
thank you, Mike, Justin, Steve, Maddie. I know not everyone's in the pod, and I know we can't all make top cut, right? It's probably not feasible, although we will definitely try every tournament. But it was great hanging out. The vibes were amazing. The teamwork of just helping with preparation, getting us what we need, even when you're not playing, helping us out. The great commentary you got to do,
Mhm.
really appreciate it. It makes it so much easier. That's the whole reason to be on a team is just the camaraderie, the friendships. It really is the reason to do it.
Yeah, Tata called me the team dad for doing all the dishes at the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of my move.
Yeah. It's great.
Nice. Anyone else want to say anything before we dip out of here? Alex, where can we find your coaching?
You can message me on Discord. It's right in the Alex Blandon coaching session.
All right, you can check that out in the KTOD Discord. And then, Woo, do you want to plug your YouTube or your Patreon or anything?
Yeah, sure. Check out my YouTube and Patreon.
Great.
What a plug. I love it.
Great.
Mike's like the
Wow.
ultimate hype man.
So good.
That's Woo with 5 O's, guys.
Yes,
5 O's,
five
not
O's.
4.
And I
not
think the
3, not
Patreon is
6.
like
Oh,
I am Woo,
we
right?
mentioned, yeah. Well, yes, you're right. It's I am Woo.
No one would have found this. No one. It would be impossible.
Oh, we plugged the stream tier on the Patreon already. There's also a just like the deck list tier, which is like, I played the deck list that was up there. Like, there were anyone that wanted to see it before they played me could have. or could have played it themselves.
Yeah, I mean that's how we
Some
do it,
people-
right? That's like kind of
People
our
out
thing.
there had calluses in their deck, and
Yeah.
I remember when Rick Martinez played us against me. I said, "God damn it, Ophir!" I
Yeah,
said it
same
like
thing.
out loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, great. Now you're going to have callus and all this stuff. And sure enough, you did.
Nice. All right. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. Check us out. I think the next time we'll all be hanging out is Vegas, and we have 2 months to crack it. So hopefully the rest of the set 5 cards come out soon, so we can get to work. Because I'm sick of like brewing with half a set or a quarter of a set or wherever we're at.
Yeah, about half, I think, now.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll check you next time. Later. All right. None of the guys want to say bye to you. I don't know what to say.